dedicated to delivering value and exploring the world's greatest books. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we'll be exploring Poor Charlie's Almanack with the Chinese edition spanning 700,000 words. In this 20-minute audio, I'll distill the book's essence and share insights from this legendary investor's philosophy. Today's focus is Poor Charlie's Almanack, a biographical collection chronicling Charlie Munger's life and investment principles. While his name might be unfamiliar, his business partner needs no introduction. He's the legendary Warren Buffett's right-hand man, often called the secret weapon behind Berkshire Hathaway's success. Despite his low public profile, Munger's intellectual contributions remain vastly underappreciated. So, how remarkable is Charlie Munger? Over 40 years, Munger and Buffett built Berkshire Hathaway into a $300 billion empire, owning 65-plus enterprises, the world's highest-priced stock. Consider this: $10,000 invested with them in 1956 would now be $270 million after taxes. This book ranks among Buffett's top 10 recommendations for understanding business success. Endorsed by Bill Gates, Michael Eisner, and Bill Gross, a veritable who's who of business leaders. Poor Charlie's Almanack offers comprehensive insights into Munger's extraordinary business achievements, his unique cognitive approaches, ethical business perspectives, and lifelong learning philosophy provide invaluable lessons. Why then does this billionaire's biography bear the Poor Charlie title? Charles Munger isn't poor. His wealth rivals nations. The title actually honors his inspiration, Benjamin Franklin. In 1773, Franklin published Poor Richard's Almanack under a pseudonym, the namesake for Munger's work. So when editors approached Charlie Munger about publishing a book, he chose to emulate his idol by creating Poor Charlie's Almanack. But dismissing this as mere fan tribute would be a grave mistake. Poor Charlie's Almanack is remarkably comprehensive at over 500 pages, documenting Munger's life through personal accounts and interviews. It also contains rare visual materials. The compilation includes his seminal speeches at Berkshire Hathaway, 11 landmark addresses, and published articles. Today we'll explore this content through two key perspectives. First, understanding Munger's formative life experiences. Second, examining the wisdom that fueled his success. As philosopher Liang Chile noted, biographies of great figures ignite ambition like nothing else. Real-life stories resonate deeper than abstract theories. Let's begin with Munger's early life journey. Charles Munger was born January 1st, 1924 in Omaha, Nebraska, a Midwestern American city. He resided here continuously until college. The 1930s brought Great Depression hardships to Omaha, forcing young Munger into part-time work. Family solidarity helped them weather these challenges. These experiences forged Munger's values. Family bonds and financial independence became lifelong pursuits. Though not wealthy, Munger's parents prioritized education relentlessly. They gifted books for Christmas, which Charlie often devoured in one night. This literary foundation enabled broad intellectual exploration from childhood. His academic excellence culminated in Harvard Law School admission. As the top graduate of his class, Munger directly entered California's court system as an attorney. He soon founded a law firm with several landmark cases incorporated into Harvard's curriculum. His career flourished. Despite outward success, Munger's personal life faced severe challenges during this period. His divorce from his first wife left him financially strained, driving a self-painted car, tragically compounded by the loss of his 7-year-old son to leukemia. These blows nearly crushed Munger, who deeply valued family above all. Yet, Munger persevered, maintaining problem-solving focus through adversity. When a car accident impaired 90% vision in his right eye, he calmly explored solutions, including Braille. Miraculously, his vision eventually recovered completely. After weathering these storms, Munger found lasting happiness with second wife Nancy, raising 8 children. Munger Meeting Warren Buffett years later propelled him into investment, establishing his own firm. He discovered wealth building through rational analysis suited him better than litigation. Unique among contemporaries, Munger developed psychology of human misjudgment to refine investment thinking. This framework identifies common cognitive errors in decision-making. He observed humans' tendency to rush decisions to resolve uncertainty. This tendency amplifies under stress or confusion. Hence, he never made investment decisions under pressure. But through this rigorous rationality, Munger achieved remarkable investment returns. However, the 1970s market frenzy caused consecutive annual losses, erasing decade-long gains. Fortunately, Munger persevered through the pressure, holding stocks until profitability rebounded in the third year. After watching his wealth undergo this financial roller coaster, Munger realized the futility of working solo. In 1975, he liquidated his firm and redirected capital into Berkshire Hathaway, becoming Buffett's indispensable partner. Their partnership profoundly influenced Buffett's investment philosophy. Buffett had strictly followed mentor Benjamin Graham's cigar bet strategy of buying undervalued stocks. This approach initially scored big wins, but Munger argued true bargains had vanished, advocating instead for quality companies at fair prices. Under Munger's guidance, Buffett transitioned from bargain hunting to premium acquisitions, their iconic move. Berkshire's sustained Coca-Cola stock purchases starting in 1980. Coca-Cola was already an established blue-chip company then. Following Munger's advice, Buffett's three-phase investment now exceeds $15 billion in gains. Buffett described his ideal partner, someone smarter who won't blame you for costly mistakes, generous with capital and effort, yet maintaining joy throughout the journey. The ultimate travel companion for life's marathon. Munger was unquestionably, perhaps uniquely qualified for this role. Charlie accelerated my evolution from ape to human, Buffett famously remarked. I'd be far poorer without him. Bill Gates concurred. Buffett's success would have been improbable without Munger. Remarkably, Munger maintained indifference toward wealth despite billionaire status. So, he still resides in the home purchased 4 decades prior. He actively engages in philanthropy, serving on several charity boards and donating $60 million to Stanford University. Despite owning a private jet and the world's largest yacht, he still flies economy class personally. He fears wealth disconnecting him from reality, determined to stay grounded. Many envy Munger's wealth, family, and legendary partnership. Munger's philosophy: the best way to attain something is to deserve it. Now, in his 90s, Munger maintains active work involvement, including corporate annual meetings. Ironically, the man who idolized Franklin became hailed as a modern Franklin himself. His wisdom illuminated Berkshire's success, while his integrity earned global respect. That concludes part 1, chronicling Munger's life journey. Next, we explore Munger's core philosophies, explaining his success. Many wonder about Munger's formula for extraordinary achievement. Munger attributes success to consistent application of 3 principles. First, eliminate wrong options through inversion thinking. Second, analyze possibilities via interdisciplinary lenses. Third, strike decisively only when conditions align. These deceptively simple principles contain profound wisdom. Let's examine the first principle, decision-making through inversion. Understanding this requires returning to Munger's unique mentality. Munger's uniqueness manifests in counterintuitive thinking patterns, always starting from reverse perspectives. Let's begin with one of Munger's experiences. During a Harvard commencement speech on achieving happiness, Munger exclusively discussed paths to guaranteed misery. He believes happiness comes from systematically avoiding misery-causing actions. When asked about success, Munger similarly advised avoiding catastrophic failures. Avoid toxic marriages and substance abuse, he'd say, advice many initially dismiss. This exemplifies his inversion thinking methodology. Inversion principle: eliminate wrong choices first. letting success emerge naturally. Munger systematically studied failure cases across industries and governments. He maintained failure checklists reviewed before major decisions. Example, his investigation into cyclical economic crises, root causes. He identified foolish consumption patterns in seemingly thriving sectors. Ill-gotten gains temporarily stimulate markets through artificial demand. The public remains oblivious to these funds' illegitimate origins, mistaking bubble inflation for authentic economic growth. This illusion collapses when questionable funding dries up. Munger observed dangerous subprime mortgage practices emerging. Banks lured low-income buyers with unsustainable loan terms. Temporary price surges created false wealth perceptions. Both lenders and borrowers misinterpreted rising valuations. This collective delusion mirrored historical crisis patterns. This is the foolish consumption pattern recurring throughout history, inevitably leading to collapse. True enough, America soon experienced its worst subprime mortgage crisis. Munger identifies two types of actions to avoid. First, repeating historical errors we just discussed. Second, venturing beyond one's circle of competence. To formalize this concept as circle of competence, defining personal capability boundaries. Munger illustrates this with physicist Max Planck's chauffeur anecdote. The chauffeur memorized Planck's lectures from constant exposure. Once they swapped roles for a presentation, the chauffeur flawlessly delivered the memorized content. Until a physicist posed complex follow-up questions, the chauffeur deflected. Slight sarcasm. This question's too elementary. I'm surprised at your basic level. Let my driver answer this. Munger's lesson. Know when you're Planck versus the chauffeur. Incompetence reveals when you're outside your competence circle. This circle forms our protective moat. Reaching it invites danger. Many assume Buffett Munger managed $300 billion through constant activity. In reality, they approve only 1 to 2 investments annually. This discipline prevents competition with more capable players. Buffett. Our skill lies in knowing our competence boundaries. Understanding limits enables rejecting deceptively good opportunities. This concludes part 1, eliminating wrong actions through inversion. Having avoided mistakes, how should we operate within our competence? This leads us to the second principle, applying interdisciplinary thinking to actionable opportunities. What exactly is interdisciplinary thinking? This concept represents Munger's original intellectual contribution. Traditional problem solving relies on professional specialization. Specialization assumes we master specific domains rather than all knowledge, like doctors focusing on specific medical specialties or lawyers mastering particular legal frameworks. The Munger challenges this compartmentalized approach. Reality consists of interconnected systems beyond artificial categories. Interdisciplinary thinking integrates any useful methodology, regardless of origin. Munger once challenged students how to raise price while increasing demand. This seemingly violates basic supply-demand economics. Some suggested luxury goods where higher prices signal quality, perceived value increases with price for status items. Valid approach, but Munger favored allocating price increases as sales commissions. Motivated salespeople naturally boost volume. This answer blended psychology and management science, transcending economics. Munger prioritizes problem solving over academic categorization. Any discipline offering solutions becomes valid methodology. Munger practices what he preaches. His investment analysis examines entire business ecosystems rather than isolated financials. True problem solving emerges when multiple disciplines converge for synergistic effects. Munger calls this the Lollapalooza effect, where multidisciplinary thinking creates exponential impact. How then do we cultivate interdisciplinary thinking? 2 methods from Munger's teachings. First, master core concepts from physics, math, chemistry, psychology, and economics as mental models. Second, learn from top performers across diverse fields. He adopted a surgeon's pre-op checklist system for investment decisions. Most people approach problems with single discipline thinking. To the hammer, everything looks like a nail. Essential insight requires cross-domain cognitive flexibility, which brings us to the third principle: striking only when conditions align. Baseball legend Ty Cobb's .400 batting average strategy. He divided strike zone into 77 cells, swinging only at optimal pitches, resisting marginal opportunities despite strikeout risks. Munger advocates similar discipline, mostly observing, rarely acting. Wait for the perfect pitch, slow, straight within your sweet spot. Regardless of talent, you'll hit such pitches. Wait for the perfect pitch means exercising disciplined patience. Avoid premature action before optimal conditions emerge. Frequent swings drain energy for crucial moments. Buffett shares this philosophy through his 20 punch card analogy. They told business students, a 20-slot card determines your financial success. Each punch represents irreversible capital allocation. This constraint forces ultra-selective decision-making. Munger abandoned active trading for concentrated positions. True wealth comes from few exceptional investments. 90% returns often come from 10% of decisions. Mastering this art of waiting requires two methods. Double track analysis 2. Flight simulation. First method, double track analysis combines rational and psychological evaluation. The rational track. Analyze macroeconomic factors, policy impacts, statistical probabilities. Psychological track. Identify cognitive biases under stress or emotion. Common pitfalls. Hasty decisions under pressure, envy-driven choices. Most investors use either track alone, rarely both. Second method. Flight simulation. Stress testing through hypothetical scenarios. Create mental models of worst case or best case outcomes. Example. Simulate 30% market crashes before investing. This combination ensures 360-degree decision evaluation. Ordinary thinking uses single lenses. Masters use prisms. Double track analysis reminds us that every problem is more complex than it appears. Having covered double track analysis, next we explore the flight simulation method inspired by pilot training. What profession demands near perfect execution? Aviation, where errors carry catastrophic consequences. But this creates a paradox. Novices can't fly until skilled, but skills require actual flying. How to resolve this catch-22? Answer: flight simulators bridge theory and practice. Pilots log countless simulated hours before real flights. Munger advocates similar mental simulations for decision-making. The real-world case studies become our training simulators. Analyze complex business cases through trade journals. What would you do? Consistent practice prepares us for real opportunities. Buffett's famous adage, be fearful when others are greedy. Most misunderstand this wisdom. Through disciplined analysis, we gain conviction amidst chaos. Munger's newspaper investment exemplified this. Against consensus, he foresaw monopoly value in local media's last standing paper. Relentless position building yielded massive returns. When acting, do so with unshakable conviction. This confidence stems not just from courage, but from wisdom in decisive action. That concludes today's content. Let's recap. We've explored Poor Charlie's Almanack, Charlie Munger's authorized biography. Part 1 revealed Munger's self-made wealth through intellectual investing, not inheritance or exploitation. This journey holds valuable lessons for wealth-seeking individuals. Part 2 outlined Munger's 3 core principles for decision-making. First, eliminate wrong options through inversion thinking within one circle of competence. Second, develop interdisciplinary thinking through mastering cross-domain mental models. Third, train judgment via double-track analysis and flight simulation methods for timely action. Munger's wisdom source is surprisingly accessible. Those close to Munger attribute his brilliance to one habit: voracious reading. Anecdote: a young associate arriving punctually always found Munger already reading newspapers. Arriving 30 minutes early yielded same result. Finally arriving an hour early, they read together silently until breakfast time. Munger carries books constantly, believing any book prevents wasted time. Modern readers have more options, like our audiobook summaries for efficient learning. Each book mastered brings you closer to Munger's level of excellence. That's our exploration of Poor Charlie's Almanack. Find notes below. Until tomorrow.